Hi everyone. So this is the third video installment of our Basketball Island National League video guides for the game-based system. This video will be focusing on the license application process for those clubs that will be completing their license applications this season on behalf of club players. So the process is very, very similar to what a lot of clubs may have already gone through or been exposed to themselves with regards to their standard Basketball Island registrations for the year. It's also very similar to players who are applying for licenses on their own behalf. Okay, so hopefully you would have received the license application form URL, whether this is hosted online by Basketball Island, whether you have been sent it directly by Basketball Island. This is the look of what the form is. So very, very familiar to you already, we hope. The key distinction that you'll need to make is just to make sure that you can see the National League competitions as the heading on the form. This just lets you know that you are completing an application form for National League competitions this season. Okay, so the first page that you will land on is asking how many people you will be applying for this season. So as a club, obviously, if you're registering or applying for multiple players this season, you can submit up to 10 applications at a time. So simply just select how many you might be applying for. For this example, I'm just going to say 2, and we'll show you what that means as you go ahead and complete your license applications throughout this process. Okay, so we're just going to have 2 for now, and we will pop on to the next stage of the form. Again, something that some of you will be familiar with. Here is just some standard instruction provided by Basketball Island as to what to expect or what is asked of you when completing these license applications. Within here, for those clubs that have maybe already completed other registrations on behalf of players, if you have a generic club email address, we might recommend you use that one to log in for the National League applications. Quite simply, just pop in your email address and log in with the standard account details you would have already provided. Okay, so we're just going to go into the next stage. And once you've logged in, same set of details will apply. Some of you may already see you may see your own information here. You may see some other players if you have already registered players on behalf of the club this year for the 2020-2021 season. Now, the real important piece that we need to communicate with all of you and make sure that you're aware of for this season, please ignore everything that you see down the left-hand side of your screen once you've logged in. If you don't have anything there, that's great. That's perfect. That's what we want. If you do, we're asking you to please ignore them. All license applications for the 2020 and 2021 season need to be done as new. So what that means is when you get to this form, when you've logged in and when you're completing an application on behalf of players, everybody needs to be selected for their club. So you need to make sure you select your club from this drop-down menu on the right-hand side. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and select a club. And you can see at the top of my screen right now, we've got registering adult 1 of 2. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. But now that we're onto the form, we can see some standard instructional information provided. Please pay attention to that and read it where you can. And then we simply just pop into the form the details that need to be provided for our player. And then we get into the meaty bit of the form. Obviously, quite self-explanatory. A lot of this will be familiar already. A lot of the details that are required by Basketball Island in order to process and accept the license applications for National League participation. So if you have a photo of the players, please make sure you upload those. Every field that you can see marked with an asterisk is a mandatory field, so they need to be completed. So please obtain a photo if you have one, because we will need those for the license applications to be accepted. And yeah, we'll quickly go through a test form upload so you can see what it all looks like. The document upload function requires you to obviously submit 2 documents depending on the nature of the application you're completing. So quite straightforward, just give it a name, choose the file from your desktop or computer, and then upload, giving it a document type as well. Okay, so that's done. And then the rest of this is obviously all based on the criteria provided by the player. So we'll quickly just fill this in. Player history is quite an important section. So here what we've asked is that there is a quick summary given of the last 3 years participation for that particular player. Okay, so please just give the name of the club and the years within which that player was registered or participating for that club. And we'll quickly just complete the rest of this form. There we go. So what you will have seen is now that we've been surfaced with a fee for this particular player, this is based on the category information that you would have already provided. Please make sure that that fee is correct, and this will then require you to pay that fee at the end of the application process for however many players you'll be applying on behalf of. Okay, so at the bottom of the form we have the standard terms and conditions. You can review some additional T's and C's provided, and there are links to the policies provided by Basketball Island as well. Okay, so one important step to be aware of now is once you have agreed to the terms and conditions, once you have completed in the form with as much detail as possible, if you hit continue, you'll now see that we've been taken back to the start of the process to register any additional players that we might be applying on behalf of. Okay, so if you're only doing one, the next step would have been to be taken through to the payment gateway, wherein which you can review the application fees that you will be asked to pay, and you can submit your card details there and then and complete the payment online for the application fees. If you are registering multiple, you just repeat the process we've been through and complete the application for those new members as well. So we would simply hit new member here and repeat the process. Okay. Once you have completed that for as many players that you are going to be applying for, you will then be taken, as I've explained, to a payment screen where you can supply the card details to complete the application process online. You will be met then with a summary screen that thanks you for your applications and will remind you that all applications are subject to Basketball Island approval. Once registrations or applications have been approved, you will then receive a confirmation email to your inbox, just notifying you that each application has been received and it has been successful. And then you will know that the players themselves are licensed for the forthcoming season. The following video that we'll be putting together will be one to show you as a club how you can access your club dashboard and pull a report on the players that are actively licensed for the current season. Okay, and that's it for the club application process for players. Hopefully that all makes sense. There are details provided for support either directly to Basketball Island or myself for any assistance that you may need on the license application process.